Call the meeting to order. It's 1 o'clock. Roll call.
All right. Kathy Glader.
Yes.
Alan Tolling.
Here.
Gerald Oliver.
Here.
Scott Hagan.
Here.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda for this meeting.
I'll second.
Kathy Glader.
Yes.
Alan Stalling.
Yes.
Gerald Oliver.
Yeah.
Scott Hagan.
Yeah.
This time we'll open it for public comment. Anybody? Mike.
Mike Scanlon from the Alaska County Board of Supervisors. I'm just here today to support the community, support the board, make myself available to anybody that wants to talk about issues related to the county. So, thank you.
Well, the meeting.
Kathy Glader.
Yes.
Alan Stalling.
Yes.
Gerald Oliver.
Yes.
Scott Hagan. Next item up is vote on the board chair. We're turning it over to Alan.
This is something that we have overlooked in January, so we're going to take a vote today on the board chair and board vice chair. And so, first we need to have more discussion on that. My input for this is, I have appreciated that as input over the past 8 or 10 months when we've had no staff, and so I would like to nominate Kathy to be chair.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All third.
All right, well, let's go ahead and vote. Oh, let's, any, public comments?
Anybody in the chat?
Thank you, Kathy. All right, board vote. Kathy Glader, Ellen Stalling, Gerald Oliver, Scott Hagan.
So next, we're going to do the vice chairman.
Probably should do that.
Is that
Oh.
something we need to do as well?
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
We need more discussion on the vice chair.
We nominate Ellen.
I'll second.
Okay.
Any public comment? All right, we'll vote on that too. Kathy Glader, Ellen Stalling, Gerald Oliver, Scott Hagan. Moving on to item 8, for general or interim general manager Ken Ward resignation. We'll turn it over to Kathy.
Ken resigned as his volunteer for the GM. He'd been with us for 4 months. He'd done a great job while he was here. We are sadly going to miss him, but he's still going to help out whenever he can. We accepted his letter of resignation. Any discussion or public comments on that?
Just thank a lot, Dan, for stepping in to help us out. Really good.
Feel better?
We have a letter from him.
What do you do?
Oh, do a letter for him. That's a good idea. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you, Ken. Any other public comment for Ken? Right. Moving on to item number 9, consideration of replacement general manager. Turn it over to Kathy Slater.
Yeah, we included in the packet and also online, pulled it up, an employment agreement that we're going to offer to, Mike to make him the new GM. And he has done a phenomenal job in the short time he has been. He has dove right into the sewer system, into the office, politics and whatnot, and, we just greatly appreciate him and his hard work that he's done. And I would like to go ahead and offer you for approval.
Let's start with any public comment.
Win.
Yay!
All right, we need to go ahead and vote on that.
So I make a motion to make Mike Garcia general manager.
And Kathy Clater. Ellen Stalling.
Yes.
Gerald Oliver. Scott Hagan.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been a blast. Moving on to item number 10, general manager report, is supposed to be in Kim Ward's absence, but I guess newly appointed general manager report. So we have quite a few things to kind of go through, kind of hit them pretty high level. We got a new Zoom process with a recurring meeting. The idea there is that we don't need a separate link every single time. So once you have the link, you can go ahead and click that. The same credentials to log in, all that will be available. We're also looking to get that recorded and up to our YouTube channel, which is now functional. We can kind of take a peek at some of the things that we've done in that space. If we go in here to share screen and we come up here to Spalding, we set up a fairly generic at this point, but it will be something we work on. Got 2-step authentication. That was something that was brought up last meeting as far as making sure it was secure and only the office is uploading videos to be seen. So we are doing every board meeting currently is really what it's geared towards. So if you happen to miss a meeting, it'll be uploaded hopefully within hours, maybe a couple days, depending on how busy my schedule is. One thing that we did work on too, and I do want to apologize right now, the audio video quality is a little limited because I was recording from my phone instead of going through the Zoom meeting. So when the Zoom meeting actually picks that up, it's going to be significantly better moving forward. And I did actually hit record this time. So this one will be the first one we actually get to do that probably works. But another thing that we worked on was transcribing each of the meetings. So you can put the closed captions function right here at the bottom of the meeting and it'll pull up all of the dialogue that's going on there as well. So that should be something that's helpful. If it's hard to hear, you can kind of get a little more of what's going on in those meetings. Outside of that, we have the OES update. We have a couple things on the agenda. We have been having weekly meetings to get that moving forward with different equipment for the office. We are kind of at a standstill a little bit because who is on the actual workbook. So my name is not on it, so we're not actually able to do actions at this time. We're going to be voting on that later to remove Cheryl from it and add me, and that was upon her request. So that is something that is still ongoing, and we're going to get that dialed in. We also met up with Streamline, as the host of our website, to work on compliance with the previous meeting. A lot of the uploads did not actually immediately become compliant just because we had a subscription that had expired. It was kind of a test trial period that had ended. So I negotiated with them to extend that out for us through the end of the fiscal year, and then got a discount for that first year if we decide that it's working for us, which is pretty cool. That technology is called Doc Access. And essentially what it does is it takes the PDF files that we upload to the website and makes them reader friendly for different softwares. So folks that have any visual or hearing abilities impairments, they have an option to view and see those things. So it's a pretty cool technology that they're working with us on that. And I think that's about what I got for the general manager report. So I'd like to open up to any board discussion.
All good things.
Yes.
Perfect.
Everything's moving in the right direction, Glenn.
I did actually forget to, on the website, we did go live with the online bill payment. So if you go onto the website itself, and it should be, yeah, okay. In here, if we go into services, you can go pay your sewer bill, or right here on the main menu, you can click on pay your sewer bill. It goes through the instructions of what you need to be able to do that, and then you just hit pay now. We've tested it. Kelly and Stacy are gracious enough to give it a shot, and everything worked out just fine. So it is up and running for when the April bill comes out. So that was another upgrade on that end. I'd like to open up for any public comment. This bill pay. Oh, yes, yeah.
So, Nathan, while we're,
So as far as I understand, this is not changing anything that currently exists. It's just an additional option. Any other public comment? Perfect. All right, we're going to move on to item number 11, sewer report with Brad Mallory.
In February, our main goal was to make sure our sewer system was working safely and we were ready if something was wrong. One of the biggest things I worked on was improving our emergency response plan. This means making sure we know who to call and who can help us. If there's ever a sewer spill or a problem with our system, I contacted several companies of people that would be able to help us. Right now, our updated emergency response list includes Big Valley Sanitation. They provide pump truck and spill response support. I contacted Dylan Silkwood as well. He provides sewer and septic repair support. Having these contacts confirmed is important so that if something breaks or there is a spill, we already know who can help us right away. Another important step this month was starting to look for a mentor operator who can help guide our operations. On February the 4th, we met with Captain Stone, a grade 5 operator, to discuss possible mentorship support. We plan to collect 3 bids total so the board can review the options and make a decision. During the months, I also handled several maintenance issues. On February the 9th, lift station 3 started pumping more than usual. I inspected it with David Handy and board member Jerry Oliver and found that the check valves needed to be exercised and reset. After doing that, the station returned to normal. Toward the end of the month, on a maintenance Wednesday, I noticed due to the precipitation we got from all the snow and rain, water level in pond 2 was higher than it should have been. So Mike Garcia, Scott Hagan, Mike Arnold, and I worked together. We rented equipment and pumped pond 2 into pond 3. We also shut off pond 1 and pond 2 so we know what extra water is going in there and diverted the flow to pond 3. That's about all I have. So overall, February focused on making sure we were prepared for certain emergencies, fixing maintenance issues, and continuing to monitor the system closely.
Any board discussion?
Like we have a handle on.
Yeah.
Anybody? Public comment? All right. Thanks, Brad.
Where are we at with fixing the water? Getting that running?
Getting what?
Fixing our pump and getting it running?
I'm going to start looking at that next week. I'm not a maintenance type of person, so it's going to be a lot of YouTube videos and stuff. A lot of calls to you too. We've seen the campaign.
Let me know when you want to do that.
Yes, sir. It'll be sometime during the week, I promise. But yeah, I want to get through go through all of our equipment out there and see what works, what doesn't work, what we need to have service or repaired or replaced. Sorry, I guess I should have been.
Good.
talking with
We can
my-
hear
You guys want to hear me now?
Okay.
All right. Maybe less so at home though. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to item number 12, the fire report with Frank Muse.
Howdy, everyone. I apologize. I have allergies. It sounds awesome. Really bad though.
We have them too.
In the month of February, we got called out and canceled for 1 traffic collision. We had no medicals, no fire calls. Just touched base with Linda and John. Our green waste, we're still waiting on confirmation for our dates for those. Once we do get confirmation, then it will be posted. Hopefully we will be having some add-on flyers going out with the next billing cycle to reach out to everybody. Also tonight we have our community spaghetti dinner, 5 o'clock, open to the public. In the realm of the fire department equipment wise, we took the big water tanker. People haven't noticed it hasn't been around. Unfortunately, it went in for service and there was some mechanical issues that seemed to keep coming, and it's nothing that was done here. Unfortunately, it's been in Kenworth. over there in Sparks. They're hoping to have a better diagnosis by the end of today, not tomorrow. And so, there will be a notification, hopefully in one way, shape or form, in probably a form of a BCC, letting you guys know what's going on with our water tender. Hopefully at this point, Kenworth's taking care of most of the repairs because it was their fault. Right now we're about $1,500 for in service, so we're still under the main dollar amount. But as soon as I know more, you guys can know more.
Any board discussion? Public comment? All right. And we'll move on to item 13, recreation report with myself. I don't really have a lot to report this time, but I would like to kind of spend a little bit of energy in the recreation department and start kind of moving through. We have a votable item later to actually start hopefully, an ongoing standing committee for the rec league where we can start to just look at some of the things we can do around the community for fun and bring some excitement back. So hopefully in the coming months, this will be an item that we'll have stuff to report on. But for the time being, is there any board comment?
Just, have all of those docks been cleaned up from down there? Been down there to see if they have not. We discussed that last year. We told people that if they thought they were still usable and wanted to save them for when the lake rose back up, that they could store them in the back lot here. But I'd like to see those docks out of that parking lot by opening fishing.
Awesome. So I think that,
Well, I don't.
I think there's like 15 to 16 of them. I haven't got an actual count. I'll count later.
But who
You know, Frank.
Oh,
knows. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Who owns them?
Who owns those docks?
So there are remnants of there are other people, we do know who they own or who owns what. There are remnants of the RV parks docks, which I thought were all cleaned up. They are not. So there's remnants there. I'm still waiting on a dumpster to get the rest of it. Larry was gonna jump in and let's see something dumpster as well.
Okay.
In the general cleanup also of that area, we've been in touch with BLM, Forest Service, Parks and Recreation Department, Boat and Waterways, Fish and Game, and I'm missing somebody. About the proper signage and what is required down there. We're still an ongoing task. At this time, Fish and Game didn't even know they had signs down there. So a lot of the signage that is going to be down there does need to be done by the county, or not county, the district itself. We are reaching, county was the other one I reached out to get new stop signs, get proper signage, as well as possibly getting a street sweeper donated to clean up, so it cleans up the lines, so we have ability to repaint the lines down there. I think that's it.
sounds like a great
Sorry.
task
Everything else.
for the standing sewer committee. Any other public comment? All right. So we'll move on to item 14, and that is the board reports. Turn it over to the board.
The only thing I have was, we have a form that the county has provided us with, a complaint form. And since we're starting in the spring, you can take, I have copies here if people want to take them. You can fill it out. If you have a neighbor that is not taking care of their property, it's an abandoned property, old cars, stuff like that laying around, fire hazards. You can fill this out, and you take it to the county, and they will red tag it and give people 90 days to clean up their property. So with spring coming on,
Yeah.
we're gonna clean up the parking lot. Let's get cleaning up some of these other properties too. But the forms are up here. Take some, and if everybody just does their local little neighborhood or street, then we should see some good results.
Do we turn them into you or do
You,
you turn
you
them?
know what? If you don't want to take them to the county, you can bring them in and I'll take them in.
Because at one time, Mike Scanlon, you had said, give you a copy as well. Because then you'll know what's being reported
correct?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. I can
and
do
you
that.
can follow up with them.
Yeah. That's all I had.
Can I make a comment on that?
Yeah.
I'm definitely running the same issues with Clear Creek and with Westwood
Mhm.
and other CSDs, and there are limited funds for like removing vehicles and towing trailers or dealing with some of those hazards. So if you've got something like that, get it in ASAP to get in front of the line. Because if you wait until later on, the funds will run out.
Yeah,
And so there are limited funds, but yeah, if you,
I just figured we'd get a head start on spring here and,
oh, absolutely.
you know, especially with our weather turning so nice.
Yeah, so
If anybody wants to email me, I can send you the same form on a PDF,
Okay,
and then you can email it into the county offices that way as well.
perfect.
Hey, Mike, what office do we send that to?
it says on the form.
This is in the form.
Yes, probably.
Um, Since we have had limited staff for the last several months, the gal who runs LAFCO has been meeting with us on Zoom, kind of giving some advisory pointers on how to meet some of the expectations in the municipal service review that LAFCO did for us about a year and a half ago. And so, different ones of us have met with Jennifer over Zoom, and we did that last week, I think, and, it was a nice meeting. We talked about some of the accomplishments we've done through some of the answering of the notice of violations that Mike has been doing. We talked about some of the upgrades on our website that we have been accomplishing, after that we have been given some direction from them. And so those are the meetings that we've been having, and I think they've been very helpful. And we were pleased to report to Jennifer that Mike is on board and Ken was on board, and that we've been doing some real positive things, we think, for the district. That was that.
Any public comment? All right, move on to Gerald. Over.
Oh, yeah, we put wheel stops on in front.
So, it's nice.
Yeah. Great job. Although they're in the wrong spot, Larry. So,
Wrong spot.
yeah. They're supposed to be the left side of the parking lot. So the parking space.
And where are they?
We did get the remaining two as well. They came in late for whatever reason, but I do have those, so. When,
Close far.
all right, any public comment? All right, we'll move on to Scott Hagan.
Mine is on the ponds and valves at the ponds. Brad already took most of my report on ponds. Reason that we needed to pump that is that it's getting close to the tear in pond number 2. It was coming up with rainwater and affluence was getting close, and the water board said that's our main priority right now is to either get the water out of there or patch that up. Well, we're working on getting somebody to patch it up, but we did what we could by pumping. I think we went down 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah, we went down 3-4 inches, maybe 5. It was a good significant drop. The water line, you can tell the water marks like this, so from where the water level was to where it is.
And we took 2 days to do it, and it was doing a pretty good job. We tried our pump out here, but somebody, last time they used it, left water in it, and it's rusted completely. Can't even turn it over. So we need to look at getting that repaired. The other issue that took care of while we were out there is the valves on each pond. Each pond has a shut-off valve that you can shut it off so nothing goes in, and those need to be exercised on a regular basis. And I showed Brad which ones control which ponds, so we should be good with that. And then we need to set it up on a maintenance schedule that it's done every so often. Turn it all the way on, turn it all the way off a couple of times, just make sure that it's working easy enough. That's all I have.
Were you able to exercise all of them? Because I know some of them I think were seized up.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. We were able to work them all that on that Friday that Scott and I were out there.
The reason we thought they were froze up was you have to put this wire shaft on top of it, and you have to get it exactly on that square. Otherwise, it bounces off, and then you're pushing it against the valve itself, and it won't move. So you gotta be real careful putting it on, and then they turn real easy.
Yeah.
Once you do it,
It was so simple.
oh, no.
Is the, in your opinion, is the pump repairable? The one that we have?
Yes,
Okay.
I mean, it's a fairly new setup, and the engine looks almost brand new. Somebody last time they used it, it's completely rusted, you can't even pull it over.
So the pump itself, yeah.
But it can be repaired.
You can get a new pump head for it, we just have to find the manufacturer, price it out, and all that comes.
So, you know,
Hey, Scott, I have a question.
Yes.
Hey, rumor mill has it that we've had,
We don't do-
well, I just want to clarify to make sure and for the record that we have had another spill.
When?
we did.
yeah, have we? Well, I haven't seen one. I haven't heard. No, okay.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to verify and get that cleared up for everyone that
That's the
they're.
gossip that goes around Spalding.
Yes.
People hearsay, if somebody said this, only hears half of a conversation. Before you know it's blown totally up.
Yeah, I just wanted that for public record for people. to
Yeah,
know.
no, thank you. Yeah, that is a good thing.
I haven't even heard.
I heard, I got email.
Okay. If anybody has a question, ask us.
Yeah, please.
We can
Don't
stop.
spread the rumor
We
further.
can stop the.
We didn't have no spill, I promise.
No.
Any public comment?
You said that the bladder is repairable.
Pond bladder, yeah.
Okay, good, so, and it's at a minimal cost compared to replacing the whole thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter of finding someone who will do the job?
There's special equipment that you need to do the job. You need to find somebody that has that equipment that can do the job. It's getting to the end of its wear life. That's why we're seeing all these splits and holes. But this one is down closer to the water. The rest of them are up on top. So it has no effect. If we got that far, we're in big trouble. This one is closer to the bottom, and the water board is very concerned that even with rainwater, we could fill up and spill into the crack. That's why we're taking that a little bit more careful. And that's, when we find somebody, that's gonna be the first thing that we fix.
Perfect. All right, so let's move on to item 15 in old business. We're looking at a mentor for Brad, and we brought up briefly in the last meeting. There's been a little bit of movement on that. So Kathy Stone has grade 3 through grade 5 working. It sounds like there's a grade 4 in there as well. So 3 different people that she was interested in working with us. She's been very communicative, followed up several times. She's on a texting basis with Brad. She's been really solid, and our phone call with her felt good. It felt like she knew what she was doing, and she'd be a good choice. I did try. It's kind of a weird thing we're asking for here, so it's getting bids on it is not the easiest process. I did reach out to Tom Warnock at Pace Engineering, and he was willing to give us a bid for himself as well as another Tom that worked at Pace Engineering. His bid was about for going back to Kathy, her bid came in at $150 an hour to work alongside Brad. And she would eat the travel time, which I thought was kind of a big thing. She's out of Chico. The goal there, as we discussed, was that she would work alongside Brad 1 to 2 days a week while he's learning. And as he gets a little better, probably drop that down to 1 day a week. And then at the end of the week, check in, or the end of the day, check in with Brad for a 15-minute phone call so that he can get credit for all of the hours for the week towards his grade 1 certification. So in that space, he needs 1,960 hours. So this is not a fast thing. It's probably going to take 2 years, but if he's getting 1 or 2 days a week, it's going to take significantly longer. So I think that this could be a good solution for us. And then also just having the LRO and the expertise that she offers to make sure that we're doing the things that we should be doing and we're doing the maintenance and teaching Brad the right way. From there, we did move on to Tom Warnock. He bid out basically the same thing. For him, I think he's a grade 2, but he did, I think, let his license go, but he could renew it if we needed it. And there was a kind of stipulations there. But his hourly would be at $260 an hour. And then he had another Tom working at Pace that came in a little bit less expensive at $211 an hour. And then I did reach out to Darren at the California Rural Water Association, and he put me in contact with Ruby, and we're still working through that. And at this point, it's my recommendation that we go ahead and move forward with Kathy. I know we don't have the 3 bids. I don't feel super promising on the Darren front coming back with Ruby. I reached out to him. I waited a week. I reached out to him again. The communication's been a little lackluster. I have not heard from Ruby yet. And it was a few days ago that he told me she'd be reaching out to me. That and just the vibe I get from Kathy, I just feel like it's a good fit. Now, that being said, I understand that we're supposed to have the 3 bids. And so if we want to sit tight and hear back from Darren, I completely understand. But at this point, my recommendation would be to move forward with Kathy and start Brad on this process.
We got a bid from Tom and Tom. That's 2.
They're both from Pace Engineering though. So. Okay.
It's a.
And just because somebody doesn't respond, we don't have that too.
Yeah.
So I think we're in a position.
More money that we're spending to do this than it is who that person is.
Yeah.
You have a
It's
sense
not
of.
gonna find it any cheaper.
And willingness to work with us.
Right. Both those things are correct, of those points. Do you have a sense of how much is it monthly that would cost us? With Kathy's numbers?
Yeah, so we're basing that off of 1 to 2 days a week. I mean, it's probably going to be, I'm trying to do simple math in my head right now. I would think we could probably budget it in for maybe $1,000 a month, something around there. And then pending needs, and we can look at our budget, which is coming up in a later item point here. But whatever fits and just kind of make it that. If we have to go every other week, we go every other week. And so, yeah, but I think if once we get started down this process, when he has this mentorship, he can file on the CIWQS website.
Yes.
I forget the acronym. But once he's on the website, he starts getting credit for his hours. And so that, I think that moving forward sooner than later kind of makes sense. And Kathy seems eager to help us, not just willing. And that really, it gave me a warmer.
So she's gonna put in a week, twice, so she put in 16 hours a week, that's $2,400 a week.
So if we did every week, we could break that down to 1 day a week.
And you're looking at almost $10,000 a month.
Okay,
Via the fancy calculator.
appreciate it.
So, or you divide it by 2, like you said.
Yeah.
You're still looking at like 43.
Okay. So we have to look at the budget on that to see, yeah, and what she'd be willing to do.
He's got that.
Yeah, I think it's something we need to afford. It's just a matter of how we make it work. So.
Can we get a grant for that or something to help fund that? Or no?
We can look into it.
Because I was gonna say they offer financial aid and everything else for regular college, so.
Yeah. So.
I can't imagine it should be, sorry, I don't know. I'm new to this, so I don't
Well,
know.
we could definitely budget it in, so that, whatever it ends up being, if it takes us a little bit longer to get you certified, at least we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, we're at least showing progress, not perfection.
Yes.
Progress to perfection.
Go ahead and approve Kathy.
Yeah, motion.
And get moving on it.
Did we want
Look at the budget.
to do them?
Doesn't matter what it was.
Did we want to do a maximum budget to work under so we can start sculpting that out to see what it would be at this time?
No, but I think we can go ahead and approve, start moving on it. And
Okay.
then once we get to the, you've got your budget thing and we're gonna be working on, it, so we can, we'll be able to schedule it in there and then bring it back before
Okay.
everybody exactly how we're gonna handle this financially.
Like, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, yeah. We gotta do it.
Go forward.
So let's make a motion to approve Kathy as a mentor for Brad.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All right. And we'll vote on it. Kathy Plater?
Yeah.
Alan Stallings? Gerald Oliver?
Yes.
Scott Hagan?
Yes.
Perfect. And then we're moving on to item 16, which is talking again in old business, a standing sewer committee. So briefly, last meeting, we discussed the development of a potential ad hoc committee that we were going to explore and see if there was interest in the community on being part of. Upon kind of further review of that process, it kind of makes more sense to have a standing committee because we have ongoing maintenance and ongoing repair issues that will constantly be there. I talked to a few members of the public that expressed interest and were gracious enough to give us their time and their expertise, which we need desperately. So I think that moving forward with a standing sewer committee, now this would be something where meetings would be public, so we'd have to announce them out and people could come in, and it's a whole process and it's a little extra work across the board, but I do feel like it would be a huge value, especially where we're sitting at with our sewer system. So my goal in this meeting would be for any members of the public that kind of have mixed schedules or whatever the case is, I can meet up with them, provide summaries of things discussed, bring that back to the standing committee, and then we can discuss through those and then have public comment if anybody has expertise they want to share. Ultimately, we all have the same goal here. We want our sewer system to run and function and avoid any problems. So anybody that has any input that's going to help that process, we want them to be a part of the system. So I would advise the board or recommend that we move forward with a standing sewer committee. Board, we can discuss it first.
Yeah, I think the committee would be very helpful, just, more ideas, more voices.
More expertise, yes, have that in the community.
Did you think of how often it would meet?
So I think it would depend potentially on concerns and how fast we can get bids. As we talk about, getting bids can kind of take a while. I've been working to get a tear liner bid situation going on for a couple of weeks now. So I would like to meet as needed, but I think for the foreseeable future, I would think probably every other week-ish would probably make sense.
And this is obviously all volunteers. How would you choose the members of the committee?
Anybody that wants to be a part of the committee and can kind of commit to the time frame, obviously you don't have to make every meeting. We'd love to have you. Again, what we said, the more minds, the better. For the folks that are kind of a little more, in town, out of town, which happens, by all means, we can set individual meetings with me in my office. I'm here almost every day, with the exceptions of some Mondays and some Fridays. I might duck out a little early for travel, but I'm here a lot. So if it works to your schedule where we can meet up and talk, I'll bring all that information back to the committee and just be a liaison for the public and make sure we get all the ideas out there.
And you'd be mainly looking for people that were experienced in some of these areas for their feedback.
Ideally, yeah. Any public comment? All right. Did we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll second.
All right. Board vote, Kathy Clater, Ellen Song, Gerald Oliver,
Yes.
Sky Hagan.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go ahead and move on to item 17, strategic plan review. So last month during the meeting, we included the strategic plan. It needs 45 days to be reviewed before we can vote to put it or enact it. So we're on day 30 of that process. So there's not a lot to report here. Any and all recommendations and adjustments that we're looking to do for the strategic plan, please reach out to general manager at spaldingcsd.org. That's the website or the email that comes right in, or come in the office and talk to me. Anything and everything. I did notice that we have, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, there's a recommendation for a standing recreation community or committee, as well as a standing financial committee or budget committee. But there's not one for sewer. So I was thinking maybe that would be an adjustment that we'd want to make to just throw a standing sewer committee. I think makes sense for our community.
Right.
But any suggestions that are out there, we'd love to hear the feedback on it.
So can I just give you just a little, so there was a recommendation for a recreation committee financial committee and an operations committee. I know because I wrote them.
Okay,
And the operations committee, sewer falls under operations.
that makes sense.
And it was constructed in that way. We intentionally did it that way because some people can cross-participate in the financial and the operation committee because those things require both tasks.
Perfect. That makes sense.
Board member
That-
for the sewer.
That was an oversight on my side. Did we, we got to take a step back on the sewer. Do we have board members that would volunteer for that committee? For the sewer? This is going back to item, was it 16? Perfect. Okay, awesome. And then coming back to item 17, any board discussion on the strategic plan? Okay.
No.
Any additional public comment?
Mike, how long is this? Okay, so it's been out 30 days?
Yes.
It was at the last one.
Yeah, 45.
Yeah, so technically we got to go 45 days, but I don't know that it makes sense to really hold a special meeting for it. So we'll probably just wait till April. And I would like to just thank Carrie for the efforts on the strategic plan. As I was looking through it, I think a lot of work went into it and it looks really solid. So thank you for that effort.
If you have any questions about it, no worry about it.
All right. Likewise, I'd love to pick your brain on it. So, all right. Moving on to item 18, the YouTube channel. I think we kind of covered it already, but I just wanted to just touch base on the expectations for it. So right now what we're doing is we're loading up all of the board meetings so that if you're unable to attend, you have the opportunity to kind of see that later and go through it, trying to make it as accessible to everybody as we possibly can. So if you have any recommendations, suggestions, things of that nature, would love to hear it. Love to hear the feedback. If you're having difficulties with it, also would love to hear that as well, so we can see about fixing it. But inch by inch, we'll kind of make it a little better. So any board discussion on that?
YouTube, are they able to sign on and put comments?
So currently on the setup, it's strictly upload videos. I've turned all the comments off and I've done the two-step authentication. So the only person that has access to it is the office.
You're gonna keep it that way?
Until you tell me otherwise.
I'm monitoring if there's any comments
Yeah.
that should be on.
Yeah.
We don't need any more jobs.
No. My points.
I think this is a really good idea, Mike. I think this is very helpful in our quest for transparency.
Please like and subscribe.
That is kind of a little sub note, just in case anybody cares. If you get to 1,000 subscribers, you're eligible for payment and then also 4,000 watch hours. That does have to take place within a 30 or 365-day period. So theoretically, if we get enough engagement, it could be a revenue source, but I wouldn't count on it. But it is there. So let's go viral.
Yeah.
Any public comment? All right. So that wrapped up old business. Moving on to new business with the OES grant. This is item 19. One of the issues we ran into was my name is not on the actual workbook. So when I'm talking to Nikki, she was gracious enough, Nikki at the state, she's gracious enough to give me her time and talk to me, but technically she's not supposed to. So what we have is we have some paperwork that needs to be voted on and made to remove Cheryl upon her request and add me, as well as to make a modification to the OES workbook so that I can move forward with Nikki for reimbursements and all of those things. Trying to think what more information you really need on that. Basically, we're just taking Cheryl off the paperwork and putting me on it. So, any board discussion?
Let's do that. Makes sense.
Any public comment? Okay, and do we have a motion?
Cheryl Albanez has the contact and add Mike Garcia to the documents and do that other stuff you said.
Perfect. A vote on it. Kathy Clater, Alan Stallings,
Yes.
Gerald Oliver,
Yes.
Sky Hagan. The next item under new business is item number 20, Standing Recreation Committee. I think that the docks example is a perfect example of some of the things that we could kind of get in front of before our season kicks off. I did include in the attachments some of the things I discussed with Frankie regarding some items that would potentially make sense to be in this committee that we can kind of tackle and work towards. There's plenty of work to go around, so any help we can get is going to be amazing in that space. Was there anything you wanted to add to?
We're pretty good so far.
Okay, so in that, I would recommend that we move forward with a recreation committee, which would probably be an ongoing, and the meeting would be as often as they felt it made sense. I would think once a month. Exactly. So let's open that up for some board discussion.
Is it okay if I read the priority test that we've already had?
Absolutely.
Some people may not have this list, but some of the things that were, just pretty basic stuff. Sweeping the parking lot, restriping the parking lot for improved organization, replace or install signage, replace the locks on the payment boxes, ensure the payment envelopes are stocked and available, adjust and reinstall the docks as needed, burn the trash and the brush where appropriate, not trash, just the brush. Remove overgrown sage, not burning trash. Remove overgrown sage and vegetation, to clean the restrooms and restock supplies, repair fish cleaning station, inspect and service the vaults, and replace or clean filters as necessary.
Geez, it doesn't sound like a lot.
Just some ideas.
Hey, Ellen, we also need to have work done on the picnic tables down there.
So yeah, the rec committee would fall into both the picnic area, the marina, as well as other community areas around, not limited to just the marina. Because we also have this little picnic area over here next to the building. There are other areas that are rec department.
I also, part of the neighborhood watch, we were gonna check into redoing those picnic tables down there. They've got some money that's sitting there not doing. But we were told that nobody knows who owns them.
So I did find that out. We do. The district owns. So with all my process of trying to figure out who and where our lease and all this fun stuff is, the district does own and manage the picnic area. That falls in our lease agreement with everything, and then our lease agreement actually shows our boundaries of what is owned by the district, what is leased by Boat and Waterways and whatnot. So in the picnic area, all that.
Were you thinking of, repairing those cement tables or replacing?
We were
them?
thinking of tearing those out and putting metal ones in.
Yeah, I would say it's very high maintenance.
Yes. Ones that are under shade
Yeah.
are in great shape. The ones that are out in the sun are just falling apart.
And we did look into at one point a couple years ago what it would take to fix those before they got as bad as they are now. It is not cost effective in any way, shape, or form.
The sign needs to be redone.
Which one?
Fish.
The fish.
Oh, that's well, also where this committee would help out is helping reach out, like I said, our main companies like businesses I reached out for fishing and whatnot. They're willing to help us, they just don't have the money and know what we're talking about. That's where the committee would help out a ton of, okay, calling this people 5 different times, showing them pictures, whatnot.
Gary, that's, okay, okay.
Any additional public comment?
Yeah, well, I can burn the trash.
Absolutely.
Do we have a motion to move forward?
Second.
And board vote, Kathy Clater, Ellen Stallings, Gerald Oliver,
Yes.
Scott Hagan.
Yes.
And then do we also have a board volunteer to be on this standing committee? All right. Thank you, Kathy. And moving on to our almost final item is the budget. So on the budget side of things, I've been spending the last 2 months really trying to get a good picture of what's going on as far as finances and things of that nature. As you can imagine, it's been an uphill battle just trying to get logins and credentials and all the things. Still working through some of the things regarding the bond and the treasuries with US Bank. We have paperwork submitted and everything's good. I tried to log into Pivot and whatever the login didn't work. So I'm talking with Lorraine to get that dialed in. So it's a process. That being said, I was talking with Greg regarding how we put a budget together. His recommendation would be that we have a formal budget ready by June, because we need to submit it. It needs to have, there's a whole process about posting it and things of that nature, and it needs to be accepted or voted on by September 1st. So June is not that far away when it comes to a project like this. So it could make sense. I would like to kind of explore the idea of the committee that we were talking about from the strategic plan, see if we have interest in the community that would be a part of it, and kind of gain some expertise there if we can. But at this point, there's nothing really to vote on. It's just kind of something I wanted to bring to your attention as get some feedback on what you thought about starting that process.
Yeah, get started early.
Yeah, for sure.
Do
Not having a budget at all.
you think we'll use the same people that were used in previous years for the audit? There's not been an audit, a yearly audit done since 23. There was not one done in 24 or 25.
I'm glad you brought that up. I completely spaced that part of it. Part of that budget is figuring out what we can afford and what we need to afford. There's both a fiscal audit that has been neglected as well as a forensic audit that has been neglected. From my understanding, both of those are fairly expensive items, but also probably something we need to do.
Just, yeah,
so-
definitely need to start with the audit.
Yeah.
Probably do 25 anyway.
Mhm. And so the budget itself should include saving for those things. It should include our repair and replace account for the sewer and that kind of stuff. So we're planning ahead for some of these things that come down the pipeline. So I think that would be pretty good. In the budget for last year, we kind of ended up being short-staffed, and we were working with the folks that we had, and we put what we could together. But I would like to kind of get something a little more thorough and a little more specific to our needs.
And as far as the audit, though, we are required.
Yeah.
As far as I understand. So any additional board discussion? Public comment? All right, I think that wraps up item 21, and we'll move on to item 22 with Kathy.
Nobody has anything else? I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Second.
All right,
We'll vote.
we'll vote. Kathy Clater,
Yes.
Ellen Stallings, Gerald Oliver,
Yes.
Scott Hagan.
Yes.